The Counter-Strike teams such as Na'Vi and Space Soldiers back in action after a stint of offline events. Ukraine, at least for some of them. Bit of a switch up, mixing things up on the panel. We have Janko Paunovic and a very handsome Henry Greer. What on earth are you doing?
We thought we'd get a younger model in. Chad is looking a little bit old, so we're kind of revamp it and kind of make it more appealing for the kids, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was so good to have you here, Henry, because I know that you have been doing your research.
Exactly.
Na'Vi, Space Soldier. First port of call has to be that of Na'Vi, just because I think they're so fresh in our minds right now after exceeding it so many expectations in Kiev.
I wouldn't go that. Home soil is always a little bit more fired up in that arena, I guess. I'd like to see them do a bit more this year before I start saying, oh, Na'Vi are back. This is the team you want to see, right? It's one-off event in their own arena. If they can replicate that. How many times do we have to discuss this guy? But he is an enigma within Counter-Strike. There's no one touching his skill in terms of his form right now. It's a shame they couldn't really get to Katowice and show us more.
And can we play a little bit of a game? Because I saw quite a bit of a disagreement. This is so this is an interesting one. A lot of different people have voiced their concerns or their opinions on calling him the world's best player because his team isn't in the grand finals and they're not lifting trophies.
Sure.
Can he be the world's best player? I mean, this is such an interesting one.
It's an age-old discussion, right? Do you look at performance or do you look at achievements? And that's why coldzera is the best player in the world, because he has both. And it's always the case with guys like Nico, guys like Simple, is okay, their performance is definitely worthy of a title of the world's best player, but they haven't played as many grand finals, they haven't won as much. So it's a discussion that you're always going to have.
Have you given it some thought, Hank?
I definitely have, and I find myself often saying the world's best player is Simple, right? When I'm casting him, right? I maybe focus more on current form than I do like titles throughout the year and everything like that. I look at like the last 3 months, who's been the best player at this point, and like you can think back to like what they've done for their team and whether they've provided enough to get them victories and stuff. It's a really difficult conversation. For me right now, in 2018, he's the best player. I think he's looked better than coldzera. Their form has obviously dropped off in terms of their results the last few months. So I feel like, yeah, for me, right now, Simple is the best.
And we can try and back that up as well, Janko. I know this is a step away. Chad is normally the master of the iPad, but you have brought up some of his recent statistics from offline.
I've got his book here, so I can actually help with that, with Chad's message.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, Alex, I do know how to use an iPad. So thanks for setting it up. But
I've got you, man. It's
not as difficult as one may think. So here on this lovely device, we have some of the statistics. Sasha Kostilev, aka Simple. And here you can see these are very good performances across the board, even after introducing rating 2.0. The very top, they're all over 1.5 even, which with his statistics, we have even greater than that. A couple of red ones, but very few and far apart.
The thing is as well, the fact he get the MVP performance in a tournament he did not win, that is very rare. Usually the MVP goes towards a player that's just won the tournament. It's difficult and very...
First time it happened, actually.
Is it actually in CSGO the first time it happened? That just goes without saying, right, how good he is at this point. Like, his statistics speak for themselves, but he's winning MVP medals and his team's not even winning. That's crazy. That's a lot of fun, I think. Yeah,
it really has been quite an interesting conversation just surrounding him as a player himself, but they are going up against Space Soldiers with not necessarily the same story, but I do think, you know, Xantares is a conversation in himself, right? I mean, he's been a player that I know.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm not comparing him to Simple, but he has also been regarded as a player that's kind of surpasses his team in individual performance, and we've yet to see that really materialize into any deep runs at tournaments or even qualifying for some big tournaments. I mean, what do you make of that?
They turned some heads at the recent major. They managed to get out of the initial qualifying set into the final 16, so that was an achievement in itself. He definitely is up there in some of the world's best in terms of mechanical skill. But we don't know what he brings to the team in the game, but in terms of when I watch him, I think he's got one of those aims that's up there with the top 5 guys. It looks like he can be as bonkers as them sometimes if given the right opportunity. The problem with him in terms of the global scene, as far as I know, his English isn't great, so I think he probably has had offers before, but he's obviously quite true to the Space Soldiers brand, wants to play with Turkish players, and maybe that holds him back somewhat, but still very, very skilled, and that's instrumental to Space Soldiers' quote-unquote success, but getting to a final 16 in a major.
And they did recently come through the MDL as well. We got to see their adventure through the Mountain Dew League. Of course, if you're interested in checking that out, a quick reminder of how to do that. It's very simple. You can just go ahead over to play.esea.net. You'll be able to get yourself involved there, and esea.net/MDL to actually check out the league, see the scores on the doors, and see, of course, who's getting closer and closer to that Pro League promo battle. That's always very scary to see those relegation spots and Pro League spots being duked out for Yanko. We saw some, we lost some good men along the way. We lost Big, Godsent, they've all fallen.
Oh, Big, what happened to them?
They're around.
They're around.
Are they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a
Did you
while.
know Big stands for Berlin International Gaming?
I did know that. I was a big fan.
I had no idea.
Oh, wow, look at this guy.
See? That's why
Smooth as butter. I just had some butter. Buttered bread, actually. It was delicious. So sidetrack just a little bit. Yanko, just a tad. Inferno is our first map, and it does sound like it's on the way. So let's just try and remind ourselves about what we learned from Na'Vi on Inferno, because they were picking up some results.
Well, something that was interesting that we saw in Kiev, obviously it was Navi's best map coming into the tournament, very, very strong on both sides of the map, but I can't even remember the opponent at this point, Alex,
Yeah.
but I remember a team was on their T side constantly hitting the A bomb site because Simple is on B. So Simple time and time again had to find himself, him and Edward were retaking like 2v2s, 2v3s even, with the T's already set up in the side. So we were talking about it during Pro League, how it might not be a completely ludicrous tactic to just go on the side opposite of Simple, especially on a map like Inferno where retakes are, you know, tough to execute on that CT side. Maybe it's something that Space Soldiers go for early on.
The problem with that is, with Simple being the AWPer on his map like Inferno as well, he's going to be changing things up every single round. So you might think he'll go into the other side, but he's just waiting for you on the other point. So that's what some of the world's best AWPers will do. But generally speaking, yeah, try and stay away from Simple as much as you possibly can, and you might be able to break him down.
Okay, well, I don't want to stay away from the casters because the game is about to go down. Thank you so much, gents. Does seem like we're talking, once again, you wouldn't believe it, it's a Na'Vi game, guys. We've talked about Simple, and we've also highlighted that Space Soldiers have not necessarily exceeded expectations, but they are, Chad, looking like a team that can contend.
I think, you know, having stars like Zentaras and Calix on
Yeah.
the team and the dedication that those young kids have is something that they need and something that they are definitely doing better than other teams who are getting paid a lot more money than them, Alex. So Space Soldiers have a couple things going for them, and keenness is one of them. That's why we're seeing them on an upward trajectory.
I can't wait to see how this cast goes. When was it? Malmo?
Malmo.
Malmo, you guys did it.
Semi-finals. Henry was sick.
Hank the Tank was a little sick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a
under
reunion
the
of
weather.
sorts. It's going to be none other than Sponge and Sadicus to cast this one.
Of course, it was ironic. We called him the stamina of CSGO, I think, at that event,
Yeah, we made that that trophy.
which Pimp probably still has.
I had it. I took it. I
Oh,
don't know
you took
why.
it. You didn't give it back to him. You won it, though. I thought
think
fair and
I
square.
lost it somewhere. Well, he didn't like it. He thought it was a bit ugly.
Well, that's you can't. Beggars can't be choosers. Maybe it suited him.
Maybe. I don't know. Where is Jacob?
He'll be here tonight, I'm sure.
I think they have to come in at 9:30.
That's like in like an hour. if
Yeah,
that.
they should be here soon.
Well, with that said, we start off on Inferno again, just like always, just like last map.
Do you think we'll get all the rounds, all the overtimes, all the technical
Not all the
timeouts?
overtimes, but I'm going to go with, this is going to go 27 rounds at least.
27 rounds.
27 rounds.
So, Matt, I was doing a bit of maths.
Maths.
Yeah. And after
More than one math.
after Thursday, you, me, Yanko, Alex, Henry, Trace, Jason will have all witnessed, in less than a month, 200 official games of Counter-Strike.
It's nothing. We can do more than that.
Yeah, I think we should
Bring it
maybe
on.
try and double that. I think maybe 400 is where I'd be happy.
Does that come with double the money?
No, we still get paid the same.
Oh, no, never mind then. I'm fine. Let's cut that in half then.
It's always the same. Everything is always the same. And Inferno is a beautiful map. But I feel the amount of maps of Inferno that have gone to overtime or double overtime in epic matches in the last, well, not even in the last, in 2018 is ridiculous. It's just insane.
Yeah, it is ridiculous right now in Counter-Strike how close things are. Some for better, some for worse, because it's pretty sloppy at times. You know what I think maps need, just looking at the Inferno and Beautiful? You remember DE Docks?
You tested me here.
It's like the one where you could swim outside around the whole facility and come in the backside. We need more maps with water.
For just the sound effect, or you
Just for the
you have
fact
a
that you
weird
could
thing?
swim.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you have a weird thing for water? I know that some people's, they like water.
Fear of drowning.
No, not that. Well, I don't know if they're afraid of drowning. Some people like
Apparently
water.
drowning is very painful if you fight it because all your muscles cramp up without oxygen.
I feel like I would fight drowning. Like, that's one of those
I
things.
just accept it.
I think, like, what do you reckon the worst way? Do you think it's worse to drown or get burned to death?
Oh, burnt to death. I've heard people say it's the other, but how do you know, right? Like, was anyone come back and like, just so you know, actually, that was way worse.
Look, I'm actually a Buddhist, so I believe in reincarnation.
Dude, all I'm gonna say is that if heaven exists, I just want to have all my dogs there. Like, no people, just Jaden,
dogs.
Fritz.
I feel like we would.
Fritz is already there. Jaden's thankfully not.
If heaven's a thing, I feel like we would get to decide what's in it. And for me, it would just be Counter-Strike. It would be Na'Vi vs Space Soldiers on Inferno, time and time again as we kick off the pistol round. A little bit of utility on Zeus as they're going for early banana control. Lots of work for Zentaras to do here.
Zantares spots them. That's a very slow peek from Flamey, but sure enough, they get away with it. Electronic with the kill, takes him down, and then clears and confirms that Sandbag is wide open. This was a sided play, so they've got to rotate all the way back around with the smoke down. That's a little bit more difficult. Paz, he'll get at least to coffins. No further smokes, meaning he'll have contact, and he makes it work. Oh my goodness, does he ever roll 3? And they slide out. He's going to reload it. How is he still alive? His engine keeps him there with a kill on a Zeus.
You asked the question of how there. First and foremost, that frag came in so early on top of Banana, and then Na'Vi just stopped. The rotation from Space Soldiers, they made a massive gamble. 3 players instantly towards that B bomb site, left 1 player on the arch side, so they were ready to play retake A if the rotation did come in. Smoke landed, they were still slow onto the bomb site, and that gave Paz a massive opportunity, and he definitely sees that. Should never have been able to get away with those frags. Force buy. Fancy that.
Well, that's quite typical with a bomb plant, but they went for it early rather than late.
This is something to probably talk about here because, like, Simple is a hybrid player, right? We have seen him do some magnificent things on that AWP, but what he can do with any weapon in the game, he's not going for that P250 and no armor kind of save. He's bought fully up with the team, and he's the type of guy that can turn it on his head by himself. CZ. Bit of damage onto Paz. He has to drop back with that M4 in hand, playing the arch side. Good weapon to have against the pistols. Zantares is there with 2 of his own with the UMP. Good start to the round.
Paz peeking out, can't do anything with it. Nade out, Major to take down Edward, and Paz. Another kill, but dies immediately after. He shall be dearly missed, but Flamey the last alive. Picks up the UMP, no worse a weapon than anyone else has in the round. Unfortunately, there's 3 others with weapons, and that makes it a little bit more difficult for him.
Lots of utility held onto there by Nine, Calyx, and Majid there going into this round, so that's a positive thing to have. They'll easily be able to upgrade a couple of those SMGs. And they're looking fine because Na'Vi have to take that full eco now. And unless they get that bomb down, probably not going to get the
Did you just break the meta? Is it actually 9? Because he's got the capital N. Is it supposed to be backwards?
Or is it engine?
I just call him engine. I always thought it was engine.
Why did I say 9?
I don't know. I was like, do you know something I don't? Like,
I haven't had a beer today, so it's surprising that I'm getting these kind of things wrong. Major with an opening onto Flamey. This should just be an eco slaughter as they've gone with the old rush down middle and farm all the frags. Give them to the SMGs. Let those UMPs do the damage. I'm pretty sure it is engine.
I think it's. I've never been corrected on it when I call him engine.
Imagine if it was 9.
Imagine. I mean, he's got the capital N, right? That used to be like the indicator that it was backwards.
Yeah. Now I'm confused. Let's just stay with engine. We'll get some angry tweets from some people very soon.
Yeah, sooner or later.
This should be a quick round. The whole idea of the round of rushing down mid with SMGs is to make the kills, but Na'Vi, they want to make it difficult. They want to...
oh, this would have been next level if they actually distracted them enough for Zeus to walk out behind them all.
I would love a knife kill. Do you see the Kappas coming up in Katowice on the... Oh, you wouldn't have seen it.
No, behind the teams.
Yeah.
No, I actually wasn't aware that those boards were dynamic. I'm going to talk over this because it's just Zeus.
Yeah.
Until one of the flush aces, they panned out, and I just saw Ace with flush, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They're actually using those for more than just the profile pictures.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff was happening in that audience.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. All the activities.
Almost wish I was in the audience.
Yeah, it looked like more fun from where we were sitting. Anyway, first gun round right here, right now. Space Soldiers getting that AWP out early onto Paz. Full rifle buy for Na'Vi, but not a huge amount of utility across the board, lacking some HEs, flashbangs, etc. Should have enough for a set piece if they want, though. Oh, that's a nice opening kill by Paz. Stepping out fully blind, takes down Simple, the man of the moment, the man we've all been talking about time and time again. And the only usual, I guess, savior for Na'Vi is taking another round in the first 10 seconds.
Zeus. Already on top of the sandbags, knows that Zantares is trying to peek out from CT, but then he looks away and does nothing with that.
Well, it's better when he does something. We all know that from Mr. HG. Made that very clear. Looks like utility is being exchanged towards this B side, but indecision, a problem which tends to be synonymous with Na'Vi. It's happening once more. They're doubling back all the way down.
Flamey, he's going to have to come in and take care of the situation at top of middle. Electronic will hold that bench, and he's got some coverage toward the right side. Flash goes high. And either way, down. Flamey's not going to be able to push through that just yet. They'll wait for Edward to get position in apartments. As Calyx will hold at the broken wall inside of pit. Molotov will force him out, and that means he's got a crossfire set inside of the site with Major. who's rotated back around after being cut off by that smoke at the arch. Didn't spot due to the flames, or perhaps even Electronic was perfectly positioned behind the pillar, that he was at quad, but certainly isn't going to give up position because Paz can hold off the arch. And in doing so, has the AWP perfectly positioned to hopefully get Flamey baited into that. Late reaction, and Flamey destroys him on the AK, so 4 versus 2. Calyx down by Edward, and suddenly Na'Vi wrapping around with Flamey on a second kill, has control of the round because all they have to do is hold off Library. That's what Flamey's tasked with, while Edward goes for the safe plant. What a round from Flamey.
That was a 3-on-5.
4 kills for him.
That was a 3-on-5. That's an absolute meltdown for Space Soldiers there. Obviously, fantastic work from Flamey to get those kills and secure the round for the team. I thought that all was done after we saw oh boy, Simple go down so early. And then just with that weird exchange, but that's the first gun round.
Perhaps running to the bathroom. For this whole league. I heard it's on Mars, actually, sponsored by SpaceX. That's basically Mars. Dallas, Texas, the home of Counter-Strike. Going back to the roots. We've done the same before. We were there last year for it, so it's nice that we're going to get some consistency, perhaps, to our schedule. I'm looking forward to going back to Dallas. If for one reason more than others. As we sit 3-1, rifles out. 2 silenced rifles, just to make note. Paz and Engine using them. We don't see those very commonly these days, as the MAC-10 for Zeus is brought out on the Na'Vi side. Having pulled back from that 5 versus 3. Simple and Zeus. Gonna try and work up toward middle. Edward already inside of the boiler door. Paz waits a cubby, flash out to take out Flamey. Tried to do what he could, but fully blind, not much was available to him, but keep it simple, stupid. He's got the kill in return. Major tries to take the fight, gets information, and baits them back to Zontaras, who then in turn baits them back toward him, but he can't connect on the second shot, so Edward has the bomb in a 2 versus 2. And this does favor Na'Vi because they can wrap to the site quick enough. Calyx needs to be perfect from the pits, and he is. That should encourage as well the fact that Engine can get closer to his position, and Edward, although he's in, Calyx is at the pit, manages to at least isolate the one-on-one, so the plant goes down. As Engine wants to work his way back from Library, bounce flash, he's going to check the quad. The problem is that if he slides out, convinced that it's that direction, he would be cut off from Engine. He certainly won't be. Edward nails the shot. We go 3-2, 2 clutches from Na'Vi. And team clutches at that, as they work extremely hard together to make sure they took the positions, as we're going to go into a tactical pause this time. And already I can tell you that one of the players, you can see it on the left-hand side, has dropped out from Space Soldiers. Didn't get time to catch who that was. Space Soldiers with the early lead are now feeling the wrath of Na'Vi's good rifle work. We're seeing it from a few different people. Flamey was solid to start off in the pistol round, excuse me, in the first gun round with the AK, the 3 kills, and then 4th as he got inside of the site. And this time Edward doing tremendous work as well. So 3-2. Simple's been relatively quiet in all of that, which is encouraging, perhaps, if you're Na'Vi. You'd expect that if he's not doing anything and they're still winning rounds, then things are going well, because that means they've got some more depth. Electronic started to show some form. I think it was really cool to watch Na'Vi's return in Star Ladder be so impressive, because Electronic certainly arrived in certain games. In fact, on this map, Flamey was unbelievably broke records in the major on this map, despite that they didn't go very far, and then, of course, looked really to be the key differentiator in Star Ladder.
Yeah, I'm back, Matt.
Hello.
I've been informed my beard is causing issues.
Yeah, you have a thicker beard than me. I had to push it off on week 1 because it was hitting my hair.
Yeah, I'll sort that out. I'll shave. I'll get rid of the beard. But look, thank you for smashing out the solo dollar there for a minute. As Na'Vi now get to milk some frags. But you're right, I think Electronic and Flamey have had moments where they've shown that they can be those stars to help Simple out. It's just not consistent. That's what my question mark is can they just play a more consistent brand of Counter-Strike?
I keep thinking I'm in-game, so I was going to bring up Tab, see who is where.
This is one of those rounds. Let's pick a fun topic to talk about.
A fun topic.
Yeah.
Did you watch Formula 1 testing today?
Yeah, no.
McLaren sucked. It's not that fun. Let's move on.
I did some washing.
Ooh, I need to do that tomorrow. I was supposed to get into an Airbnb today,
Yeah.
but the guy canceled like literally last minute after it's been booked for a month.
Yeah, I had the same thing when I booked the first one here last year. It got cancelled, but I had more lead in than a day.
I think I have a really bad review because ESL booked for me and I forgot to clean the last place I was in, and there's only one account. That animation, by the way, with the Mac 10 needs to go away and die.
It's pretty frustrating. I don't know.
Not that
I
it
was
was a
thinking,
difference there,
you know,
but-
like I'm pretty critical to old boys Valve, but then I was thinking about it and I thought, we're here. We made it this far. They've done good enough. We're sitting here all the time talking about Counter-Strike.
And we'll be gone tomorrow.
The circle of life. Look, Zeus is going to try and get some kills here with the Mac 10. Just wants to farm as much cash as he can with his investment. Shouldn't be holding that into next round unless they want to go into a full piece. A full piece? A set piece or full execute. I've mixed the two terms together and made a full piece. So I think that's like a lady's swimsuit. Or is that a one piece?
I think stylish onesies are making a return in the fashion world.
I think so too.
Some really nice curved cut
I
swimsuits.
was at the beach over Christmas time back in Australia, and the one pieces they're out in full
You
force.
still got a tan before you get them on, otherwise you're going to have some weird lines.
Yeah.
But get your tan on first and then get the onesies on.
Yeah,
You're
but make
gonna
sure
kill
you
it.
wear sunscreen, right? People have this misconception
I
where they
don't.
think if
It's
they
really
don't
bad.
wear sunscreen, they won't get tanned. That's completely false. Anyway, the two Mac 10s from Na'Vi are being held onto. Now, I would be hoping they go for a set piece pretty early here because you want to make the most of those weapons, and they can melt the heads of 4 Space Soldiers members who don't have the head armor. Calyx, Engine, Paz, and Major all only have the Kevlar. Nothing protecting their domes from the bullets.
Zeus looking for his way around with the Mac 10. 1 of 2.
It's like a double pump. They've thrown out early utility. They want to try and bait out anything Space Soldiers may have in stock. And now the second wave of the attack is about to come in. You see the setup with Simple and Zeus there. The smokes, Molotov in Edward's hands. All about to be launched over the wall and into that B-bomb site. Flamey on entry duties with electronic in tow. And he's second now with the magical number. The smokes will be deployed. No information on the board here for Space Soldiers, but they do have a 3-man stack over towards that bomb site. The utility slams on in.
Major. Getting a little roasted, getting a little hot. He stays on top of it, but drops off after they can hit the spot anyone. He's going to go in with his teammates aggressively. Zontaran's fully blind, manages to get Simple. That's quite the matchup between the two of them. Two very powerful players. Obviously, you favor Simple, and sort of his sample pool indicates that. And played against tougher opposition, but Zontaras is certainly a solid contribution to any team. So too is Calyx. In fact, some people argue that Calyx might actually be better than Zontaras as they get the defuse, and Space Soldiers get round number cat.
I think the more we see out of them, obviously...
That's French.
Is it? I got... I can count to 10 in German.
I can do it in Francais. That's it.
I can do it in Japanese as well. We learned Japanese in school. Why are they teaching us Japanese?
Because they're really close to you.
That's like 14 hours away. I don't know if that's really close or not. But we are going to be able to get another gun round out of Na'Vi. We did have 3 in a row there, so 5 rifles once more. Haven't seen the AWP in Simple's hands have any effect in this game thus far.
I imagine it more has to do with shipping, because you have direct routes to Japan.
My auntie's Japanese as well. Maybe they knew that.
Oh, so they did it all for you, Chad.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the whole school curriculum was just based around my family members.
All right, Truman.
Imagine. It would make a lot of sense.
Whenever I see a face that looks familiar, I'm like, that's the same actor. They've just put him into a different character. You can't fool me.
So here's the issue that I have with the way Space Soldiers are playing this CT defense. We're actually going to retake mid-wall right now, and I like that approach. It's just they were giving up a lot of room. And they're able to grab that information. Paz saw nothing, but quickly Na'Vi will funnel on in, and Zeus is going to find the opening frag there. That's all they need to force this rotation out. Zontaras has been forced to leave the B bomb side. The A attack is in. Molotov running in, pushing Calyx out of the pit position. It's very disjointed though, as Calyx and Major are able to get 2 of their own, and this round has been completely stifled as Na'Vi are left in 2-on-3 situation.
Edward's going to swing. Calyx has the advantage, or does he? Great shot from Edward, but Major had all the information. Low HP on Zeus, but Zeus still able to find the kill. I've made the show even easier to construct for them as well, because all the flying that they've constructed my life to lead toward, that was all by design by them, obviously, the producers. Every time I'm in a plane, they're just doing a set change, and I come back down the same place. Same place for Zeus as he goes back out and then realizes he's got time to go to B, so he's going to book it. And like quite literally through the library.
He's read this though.
Ooh.
Nine's already on the flank. He's already in banana, has a flash and a Molotov in hand. Not sure how useful that's going to be. He's deciding to walk at this point. And Zeus, preemptive smoke there, forcing Engine to play through it. And he's going to get super aggressive there.
I thought there might have been a slight gap on that, but good read from Engine on the positioning either way. Good shots. Zeus on low HP, couldn't do anything of it. Started off well with 2 kills inside of the site, but Space Soldiers with 5 rounds, 2 in a row. This will be the last buy for Na'Vi.
Yeah, just to note there, that was a very disjointed A attack. They did find the opening kill. I don't know if they were expecting to get as much room as what they did. I think they were expecting more of a fight because it just felt the quad player and the halls player weren't really well synced with the guys wrapping around Arch. Need to be able to trade a little bit better there. Slowing it down are Na'Vi. Deagle in Simple's hands, who is currently, I think, the bottom fragger for this Na'Vi roster. Normally he's at about 25 kills at this point in the game, so unusual to see this out of him, but you can't do it every day of the week. The kid's not a, I was going to say he's not a machine, but he could be.
Very few people are machine.
He could be. Like, we could be androids, I don't know. Paz taking the duel towards middle. Molotov will come in, pushes Na'Vi back for now. More utility being dispensed, so with the smokes and Molotovs in the hands of the CTs, they're able to hold off this middle choke point. They are playing quite aggressive. Flash will come out. He's going to push. He spots 2. Unable to connect any real damage, but keeping Na'Vi in check as all 5 members now want to take this mid wall.
Flashed, however, lets Major around the corner. How quick was that? How good was it? As well as they sneak out. Paz, be careful. That's your teammate. Yes, okay, you want to fire through it. Unfortunately, he also... So Paz damages one teammate, blocks the other from getting out of the Molotov. He's a double agent.
And he killed a chicken, I heard.
What a dickhead. Simple. Gets wrecked by Calyx. Last buy Na'Vi, we said it. They got no money left, posted on Reddit.
I think now we'll probably just see a pistol
upgrade. Or you could
upgrade.
just forget it.
Let's just see a pistol upgrade. That's what I'd go for. And then maybe something a little bit more assertive off the bat. They're just trying to find jewels in these last couple of gun rounds and not really have any success. Space Soldiers did a pretty good job of doing a transitional defense in middle there. That's more what we saw in the older versions of Inferno. Teams have been not doing that as much. It seems like they forgot that it's even a thing, or maybe it doesn't work in practice. I'm not quite sure. Information being gathered early. Magic pushed all the way out in the window, saw nothing. This is when you're going to assume they're sitting passive or they already have banana control because there is no banana information, and I think that is probably the call as Paz is very deep on that arch side. Hanging back in CD spawn for that early rotation. Now, map control will be taken by Na'Vi. They've moved up vault middle. They're already at the top of the mid choke point. Boiler and Hall's control have also been gifted to them. No risks being taken by Space Soldiers whatsoever. Want to play very far back. I guess the biggest issue is Calyx is on his own in the bomb site. Madra in library and Paz in arch. A bit of trouble, but Paz will find contact early. Nade comes in. Lots of damage done here by Space Soldiers. They are going to mop up this eco with not too many dramas at all. Simple and Edward, last 2 remaining on that arch side as well. And the aggression from Paz reinitiates, grabs a kill. Puts Simple down to red HP and forces him to scamper all the way back to the bottom of Tea House.
Simple. Even he's, I think, in over his head at this point.
I forget, is Simple tall?
Yeah, he's about 6'1".
Yeah, all right. I feel like I always see him sitting down.
Maybe 6 foot. I don't know about 6'1".
I always see him sitting down.
Well, that's how we see most players.
All right, still no... well, I guess he could buy the AWP here. Simple could go for the AWP, but it would be glass cannon. He wouldn't be able to afford armor with that. He will go for the rifles. Now, like I said, something more assertive needs to come out. Either something faster paced, taking control of mid early with a couple of easy smokes and flashes, or going into an execute. I think what we do see from Na'Vi from time to time is a play where they like to explode out halls with 3 members. There are 3 members right now in alt middle, so this could be a possibility. They're not going to have anybody at the end of halls to spot them out. There's no transitional defense or information gathering towards this section of the map. But Banana, there's a different story as Zentaris kills Electronic and sees the rest is clear. The rotation could come out right now. Engine could force his way over there. It's going to be too little too late as the flashes do come onto the A bomb site. Paz is going to find an opening. Calyx is going to get one of his own, and all too easy for this Space Soldiers roster.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Peeking out late when there's already a distraction from the stairs. It's a good spot when it's used like that. If you're on your own, you're kind of screwed because there's nowhere to run from it. Utility can easily push you out. He gets 3, and it's 8-2-3. Navi's come up very shy. I think that's 5 rounds in a row? Yeah,
It's
3. It was 3-3, so it's 5 rounds in a row. That's max loss bonus.
Not a great place to be for this Navi roster. Utility will be bought up with a few of those upgraded pistols.
Yeah, only 1 plant and all of that, so that's a problem too.
They should, like, with the utility they've bought here, there must be some form of execute in mind. He's going to be towards the front of the pack. He only has a smoke in hand. CZ as well. We know how deadly they can be. Reddit was alight with comments about that pistol over the weekend.
Oh, has been for a while. But you're right, specifically over the weekend. I think Flush's kill on Inferno when he ran around the corner with the CZ to the one-on-one and Emo, that was like one of the moments even I was like, yeah, with the CZ, of course. Maybe that was in that. Maybe that was actually in the FaZe Cloud9 game.
Sometimes it's actually better to use that when clearing certain corners and taking other duels because of the fire rate. You know, like it just feels like it's too many bullets too quickly as it comes in, and Badger's going to get caught snoozing through the smoke. Paz finding one, dropping back, and gets a second.
That's pretty good because he actually backed up too soon. His teammate fell off his head, Major. Yeah. And was killed for it.
So far, he has blocked a teammate into a Molotov and died.
Done massive teammate damage immediately before that. Dropped a teammate off his head, but then gets 2 kills.
Killed a chicken.
Oh, what a dick. Engine doesn't have to do anything. It's on Towers. That's the lineup from CT instead.
This is looking real good from Space Soldiers. Very, very solid defense coming out from them. I think, you know, they're not actually putting too much emphasis on holes early, but they do have a really good approach to middle. Whenever Na'Vi want to take it, they're pop flashing, they're taking the jewels. They're not really being afraid of giving up that territory because they're happy to fight when it has been, like, when they're in that choke point, it just seems like they've got some good flashbangs to be able to fight that area. So, decision making, I think, from Space Soldiers haven't been tested really, though.
Paz is on 15 kills. He's ahead of his non-Tyrus by 1. Engine, on the other hand, or 9, as you call him.
Yeah,
is only on 2.
I misspoke.
Nah, it's fine. He's only on 2. He hasn't had to do anything because every time they go toward B's, Antires is just ripping them apart.
Must be nice.
So we'll get back underway. Tactical obviously was called from Na'Vi.
Still no AWP. Okay, so obviously this T-side AWP is not something they're going to prioritize here to get into Simple's hands. He's on that rifle again. This is something that I do admire, Na'Vi not forcing the issue with the AWP if they don't have to. However, still no rounds have been put on the board in some time.
Ooh, interesting boost. Is it a boost? No, it's not. What's he? Oh, he's on that little pallet. Yeah, that's right. I always forget that that's there from this angle.
It is a weird spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It almost feels like it has no purpose, but
that's the purpose.
Yeah, it could catch people off guard from time to time. The default spread coming out from Na'Vi, all right, banana control, they've got the mid, they just want to care about boiler room. They just want to take parts of the map methodically, and once they have that, once they've gathered the information, once they've called out the utility that the CTs have thrown, Zeus will calculate that in his brain, like a mathematician, and make a guesstimation on where they should end up. And once more, it feels like middle is the port of call, and Zentaras with a nice little pre-fire, I would have to say, onto old mate Edward.
Certainly read it well. Smoke goes very deep. Simple will absolutely welcome himself to that. He always does, and he does it in style again. Zontaras and Engine go down. Wrong person that you want to give a gap to. Inch, mile, all that cliche. Yeah, that is Simple in a nutshell. Calyx tries to replicate and gets away with it. Oh, how does he get away with it? Flamey and Zooth both get caught late in the spray cycle as well, leaving us with Simple against 3-2 on low HP. Simple certainly capable of this, but a challenge nonetheless as he goes out. Calyx quickly scooped up, just gets around the corner, and thank you very much for firing the shots, Major. I now know exactly where you are. Obviously speaking from Simple's perspective, but I'm not quite as good as him because I probably would have missed that shot. He did not.
The fact that he is getting 4 kills in this round after his teammates, a massive blunder there on that arch side, dropping the bomb, going down through the smoke to Calyx. It's going to be the lifeline Na'Vi need. Ooh, waiting, no idea where Paz is. He's creeping in, he's already made his way into the bomb site, jumping up on the box. I think Simple's got the advantage here. He swings around, he's going to find the headshot. Simple with the ace to get Na'Vi back in this half. What a way to announce yourself in the server. You love to see it.
That's pretty sick, especially like as soon as that smoke had a gap and I saw him standing there, I was like, he's going. He's absolutely going. Pushes through, 2 kills. Odd sprayed out on the other side, to be fair. Calyx got 2 in return, but man, oh man, Simple just shut him out in the 1 versus 3 as well. Simple back onto the AWP this round as well. He's certainly capable on the T side of Inferno. We talked over and over and over and over and over again about Guardian, but Simple's up there.
Thing is, man, Na'Vi are up against a massive wall here. the economy on Space Soldiers is hot. They're going to be able to buy out for the rest of this half. I know there's only 1 round left after this one, but they need a clean round if they want to have enough firepower to go into the final round of the half with anything going. Right now you can see the MAC-10, 2 UMPs, an AK, and an AWP. That'll be enough. Bullets are exchanged top banana. Calyx finding one. He's stalled the push. Smoke will come out. That's going to stifle them even more, and the backup is already there. Has cheated his way over early, and it will force Na'Vi all the way back.
All the way back to mid. And they'll go that way in toward Boiler as well, with Edward leading the charge. Electronic on 18 will take the AWP from Simple. He therefore will downgrade to a UMP rather than an AK-47. Round 14. I said we get 27 rounds today in this game.
In this one map.
In this one map.
Well,
it would be impossible to have 27 over 2 maps. We need minimum 32.
Look, as long as we get all the rounds and all the maps and all the timeouts.
And all the technical delays.
This is Counter-Strike. It's one of those beautiful games that you just love to see it time and time again, as Inferno has been delivering, and Na'Vi needs to deliver now. They've jumped out of holes straight into the hands of Zataris.
How snappy is he? Straight back up to take down Edward over to the UMP. No, Simple's in front of him. Gets him to 14, but Simple's not going down that easily. He might to Calyx, the next in line. And the bomb well up. Oh, no, Calyx. Okay, yes. Get Simple, having missed the first shots. Bomb up. Electronic's going to go aggressive, and he's done exactly that. AWP. Time gone, and down after the time, he loses the AWP.
Feels like an interesting I guess he really didn't have too many options there. The money now is well and truly in the bin for this Na'Vi roster. Not what we thought we'd be seeing after their performance at Star Series just about, I don't know, 10 days ago now. Maybe less. I've lost track of time. It's definitely relative. All we've got on Electronic is a smoke. That's all he was able to pick up in this round. No one was even going to drop him a pistol, the poor kid. He just has that Glock, no armor, and a smoke. And it looks like a fast beast play is coming out. Zentaris takes one. Zeus, the MAC-10, going to find one of his own. And engine ready and waiting. At first oranges. Stop this push even more, so Flash and the teammates come in. Na'Vi look absolutely dysfunctional right now as Space Soldiers have their number.
Dysfunctional. That's major. Sprays down Zeus. An engine to shut out Simple. Makes us 11-4 at halftime. And therefore, a convincing scoreline on the CT side. Na'Vi's got their work cut out for them. Not looking like the team that made it to the finals of Star Ladder. At least not currently.
Well, speaking of finals, Matt, if they want to make it to the Verizon Theater in Dallas on the 18th and 20th of May for the finals of the ESL Pro League Season 7, they're going to have to lift their game. Did you know the early bird prices are still on for 2 weeks if you want to go for tickets, Matt?
Really?
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm,
yeah,
and my little worm will be there.
Well, I was going to take my little worm and go on some roller coasters at...
Six Flags.
At Six Flags across the road.
Yeah, it was right across the road from our hotel last year.
Yeah.
Probably maybe this year. I don't know.
Yeah. I got a need.
I like the pool at our hotel, actually. I hear it's quite tasty, actually. It has this weird aroma of chicken in it.
Yeah. I think because it's Texas, right? They flavor it barbecue style.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But they still are able to maintain the blue color of the water.
That is a good point, actually. It is a very blue pool. There's a lot of, it's well lit, inside, outside. I think I sat out there on a swan all night, by the way. Which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Pruned for about 2 days. It is a fun place, that old Dallas. Everything is bigger in Texas except when I'm there.
Okay.
So we'll get ready to roll.
Yeah.
11-4.
Yeah, well, look, that old cliche of Na'Vi needing the pistol, it's never been truer right now. I feel that they have a mountain to climb if they want to get back into this match. Slower start from them. Maybe they were taking a couple of days off after their victory in Kiev. They didn't have to go very far.
Record on the road. Coaches it's also about, like, in a hotel, you're constantly thinking about the game, I think. Too much, you let your guard down. I know what you were trying to do.
We live in hotels and we don't have girlfriends. So here we go. The pistol round is starting. Looks like up simple. He has a lot of work to do with the USP and he has backup with him already, but the flash going onto this B bomb site. The defense Space Soldiers are going to pick up a crucial round on the look where Flamey and Electronic are. Get absolutely wrecked. Not having any stock in this round, and we probably won't even let you hold
With your wang out.
Just chill out, boys. It's all good.
1 HP for Flamey. He's like, please. Gone, as you mentioned. They'll look for
a lot less of the cost. So
I think you're right. I think you're fine. Flamey. Just like my sex life. That far, they don't check it. Depart as well.
he'll bait and switch there. Allows another frag to fall in there. And this is everything done as they should. And now, what do you hold on to your upgraded weaponry? Another Molotov. Doing it for when Rops is playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gave it to Lauren and Henry, but neither of them. Now,
No, it's fine. Don't give it to me.
I don't think you'd like. Right, well,
3 to go.
The hopes of Na'Vi.
I'm just going to take your word for it, and then if you're wrong, I'll blame it on you. Swap a banana fast with the any damage. Paz will certainly be running with that MG. Simple's gotten 2 in return on the CZ, but Zantares is the next in the site. He
I didn't hear anything about that, but to be fair, I don't really stay. Brave.
The thing is, when you get like reamed out by esports like we have, and I'd argue they don't even have good hair.
Well,
So.
Zeus, he's just going to try. He's probably going to go down with the bomb. Magic's going to find him before that happens. Down the raft with the lightning.
was
maybe. Second round means they're not able to get up all that utility that they need. Clock. This is not a position you want to be in. This is where your individuals need to step up.
I looked it up. Electronic even wants the flower pot. And is just.
I have to give them a bit of a standing ovation. I don't want to clap, but just imagine I am. Advantage. Now they're just able to make their way onto the bomb site, lob a grenade on Simple's feet. Yes, and actually fight while the chaos is going on. I'm saying it wasn't able to happen for Na'Vi. Defense on middle, who all just went down one after the other. Domino's definitely. Na'Vi are finding themselves in dire straits. I don't know. They play an electronic guitar.
Oh, I like it. That's pretty much all of them. Edward on the keyboard. Okay, I can get behind that. Lead singer.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I don't know if there's backup though.
Thought he was going to go on that. Last round, from Osses. That's seeming. Not bad. Play from Zeus. Lead singer's got some chords to pluck. That doesn't work because that would be what the guitar. Away, so they are salvaging the round. Low HP on Zeus as well. But the smoke's still down a man. He wants to make sure no one's.
In the meantime, Electronic did being forced towards B relatively quickly. Has a lot of utility, can smoke off CT. Put it past Zeus to sneak his way through this smoke as the bomb plant is going down. And keep Na'Vi alive with 3 big kills in the round, 2 of which were with the MP9, as you mentioned. He's had more kills this game with SMGs. That's not a true stat, that's just an observation. We'll get the stats people on it in the meantime. Crunching the numbers, working out all those bits of any aggression. Inferno at the start, it tends to play out like this time and time again. This is what we definitely come to see. And it looks like they want to move into a relatively quickly organized A hit. Boiler control, have Halls control, have been able to stop the B pressure, and they are even going to get gifted an opening kill there as Magic will find Flamey. But with his pants down, and Molotov pushing Zeus back, so mid-wall should be theirs for the taking if they want it. However, not willing to strike. And it went out. Noise there.
that was intentional to bait them or not. Put him in an awkward situation. Calyx overcommits to it. 1 HP. He didn't really need to extend for the kill immediately. Wants to. Gets caught by Flamey. Simple's going to add to that by taking down Paz. And as the smoke blooms, Edward comes over to support Simple, and Major's gone. Pulled back by Engine. Engine number 9.
On that New York. Or is it Turkey Head? I think it's Chicken Head.
Well, they're from Turkey.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, it would have worked.
Gets across, thankfully. And, I thought Simple was just going to go straight in with the op. Combat style allows him to commit to the plant, doesn't want to peek, he just wants to hold the angle, thus confirming that he must have gone toward the ruins and therefore allowing for Electronic to get in a position accordingly, but Simple hits the shot as Engine takes the peek. We're going 15-6, we're getting closer to that 27-round prediction.
Well, Simple the Undertaker finding the kill there near the coffins, putting Engine 6 feet under. Keep them alive, keep them in the game. However, it's very grim scenes here for Na'Vi. It's a uphill battle to say the least. We do like seeing all the rounds, all the maps, all the timeouts. However, Space Soldiers probably have a different plan in mind. As they have force-bought into this one, you do see the CZ in the hands of Calyx. The plant there allowed them to get these AKs and the limited utility that they have been able to scrap together. Want to take an eco and get everything going, so they want to finish this as soon as possible. They don't want to give a chance for Na'Vi to build up that momentum. Tara's being molotoved out of position. 3 angry CTs pushing down Banana there. I'm going to stop by the smoke, and Paz stepping out with a big kill. Calyx with one of his own, and Edward is going to stop any more Banana aggression. But overstage is welcome.
I was going to say everything that they're doing on the Space Soldier side to counter this aggression is then overstated by them walking into a position where they're traded. So this is the first time they could sustain the kill, and you're right. Na'Vi could have easily backed off at that point. Edward specifically. They're going to allow Major to see what's going on the other side of the map. Not to be misled by his confidence in apartments. They're going to have to consider this side of mid.
Well, looks like they want to play more retake towards the A bomb site, as Electronic is just hiding here in the cubby on the arch side. Looks like he wants to peek out every now and again to see if he can catch them looking the wrong way. The problem is he can mistime himself, and the information he is relaying to his teammates Simple over towards that B bomb site could find very inaccurate. All 3 members are now regrouping and going through apps together, and this is a dangerous choke point to be collectively pushing through as Electronic's found his way into Boiler. He's going to get a chance to sneak around the back. This could be a big play in the context of the round, as Simple has now made it through the archway with the AWP and is ready to retake.
So he's going to go apartment. Simple's going to go quad. Or fake that he's not. I don't know what that was intended to be. He hasn't made that much noise. He certainly will make noise getting to the site, though. That's going to bring Zantaras out to see his gun barrel, but also spot Electronic. Now they know where both are. And this, it should be the game, as Simple fails to find the first kill. Does tag Engine, who's going to be holding his breath in the corner. Nonetheless, he'll slide out and take care of business himself. The Engine firing on all cylinders, you might say, Chad. Or maybe all electric power. Who knows, because it's 2018 and electric cars are getting better. Space Soldiers getting better in their standings, and Na'Vi still struggling apparently in Pro League despite all their good performances. Star Ladder will drop the first map, Inferno.
They're land players, Matthew. That could be the problem right there.
What's wrong with lands?
There's nothing really wrong with lands. That's where we all have our best fun.
Well, with that, Space Soldiers continue on with a great start to what has been a great start in the season thus far. Na'Vi certainly need to dig deep. We will take a break and come back with the second map. We'll see you in a minute.
Incendiary out.